Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to FindGap YouTube channel, and in today's video we are going to teach you loops in PHP. This is one of the most important concept in programming, and we are going to learn this concept with example. First of all, I want to tell you that there are four types of loops in PHP. The first one is while loop, the second one is do while loop, the third one is for loop, and the fourth one is for each loop. In this video, we are going to learn only these first two loops. So friends, first of all, I have a question for you. Suppose you want to display a text on the screen like echo and find gap. And if I ask you what you will do, you can use this echo function and this string, or you can use the print function. Suppose if I ask you to display this text on screen 5 times, what you will do? Maybe some of you will say that we will just copy and print this text like this. If I type here br, let me copy this and paste this 5 times. First of all, let me show you its output. Make sure you have the XAMPP open. Start your Apache server from this position. Next, open your browser and type here localhost/learn, and in this folder we have this while loop.php file. So you can see that the find gap text is printed 5 times. So what if I say you to print this text 100 times? And then what if I ask you to print this text 1000 times? Here the loops come in. Basically, a loop can do this within a second. Instead of you copy this and paste this again and again, loop this can easily. Let me show you how. First of all, I will remove this. I will comment this text, and here I will teach you the syntax of our loop. First of all, we have to declare a variable here like I is equal to 1, and then I will type here while I 3, and then in the parentheses we have to type the body of our while loop. So basically, this is a condition. First of all, this value will be assigned to your this variable, and then this while loop will be checked either this condition is true or false. In this case, this condition will be checked either I is less than 3 or not. We know that I value is 1, and which is obviously less than 3. So this condition will become true, and the code that you will write at this position in the body of your while loop will be executed, and then again this condition will be checked, and again if condition will become true, then this code will be executed. So basically, until your condition will not become false, this body of this loop will be executed again and again. So suppose I will type here echo find gap and br, and if I press semicolon here, I have opened this in a split mode. Let me refresh this. The loop is running infinite time. Why? First of all, let me close this. I will teach you. We have to type here I plus plus, because if we will not increment our this I variable, what will happen? Every time the I value will be 1, and we know that 1 is less than 3. So this condition will never become false, and this code will be executed again and again and again infinite time. Even you will see that maybe your browser will crash or your server will be crashes. So make sure to increment this variable. Now let me type this, for example, localhost learn and while loop, which is the name of our file. You can see that the find gap is printed 2 times. Why? Because first time I value would be 1, and we know 1 is less than 3. This will be printed on our screen. You can see that find gap, and basically this br will not display. It is for our line break, which is an HTML tag here. And again I value will be incremented, then I value will become 2, and 2 is also less than 3. Condition will become true, and this code will be executed and print this find gap. But after this, when I value will be incremented, it will become 3, and 3 is not less than 3. This condition will become false, and this body will never executed, and your control will come outside of this while loop. So that's why we have at this point 2 find gaps. Suppose if I type here 20, or I can type here less than equal to 20. Let me refresh. So you can see that now the find gap is printed 20 times. You can type here 200. Let me refresh. So now you can see that I am scrolling, and this code is executed multiple times. So basically, a loop is used to execute a set of statement to a specific number of time on the basis of condition or something else. So this was the definition of the while loop. Next, we have to learn about do while loop. The do while loop is nearly similar to this while loop, but I will show you the difference. But first of all, let me comment this one, our while loop. The syntax of do while loop is, first of all, you will type here do, middle brackets, these parentheses, and this is the body of your do while loop. Let me zoom this one. I think I should open this like this, and here you have to type your condition like while I is less than 5 and semicolon here. Let me cut this variable and paste this at this position. So now suppose if I assign a value to my this variable like 10, and here if I type here hello world and semicolon, let me refresh, you can see that there is something happened. Our condition will become false in the beginning because i's value is 10, which is not less than 5. So this condition will become false, but you see still this code is executed at least once time. So that's the only difference between the while loop and do while loop. In do while loop, if your condition will become false, your body of your loop will execute it at least one time. And in the while loop, if condition will become false in the beginning, the code inside your body will never be executed. Let me show you through practical. Here I'm going to comment this code, we don't need this. I will copy this code, paste it here, and let me cut this from here and paste here. I will uncomment this code, and suppose here I type here 5, and we know that I, which means 10, is not less than 5. So the condition will become false in the beginning, but let me refresh and let's see either this find gap will be print on the screen or not. If I refresh, you can see that nothing is happening. So I hope you understand that in the while loop, if condition will become false in the beginning, then this code will not be executed. But in the do while loop, if condition will become false in the beginning, still your body of loop will be executed, must execute it at least one time. So that's the difference between them. So friends, in the coming video we will learn about for loop and for each loop, which is also one of important concept of PHP, because we often use for each loop in our programs when we develop web softwares. If you have any question, you can ask us in the comment section. We will try to answer your question, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for our regular videos. And finally, thanks for watching.